I'll now call the Board of Trustees meeting for Tuesday, October 22nd to order at 6 p.m. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Berry.
Here.
Mr. Morris. Here. Mr. Culp.
Here. Chief Stiegelmeyer, you have first responders casualties.
Good evening. First responder casualties for the period of September 29th, 2019 through October 19th, 2019. Detective Brian Charles Molkin, New York City Police Department, New York. End of watch September 29th, 2019. K9 EJ, New York State Police, New York. End of watch October 2nd, 2019. Border Patrol Agent Robert Houghton, United States Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection, United States Government. End of watch October 6, 2019. K9 Hooch, Alabama Department of Corrections, Alabama. End of watch October 10th, 2019. Trooper Peter R. Steffen, Indiana State Police, Indiana. End of watch October 11th, 2019. Deputy Sheriff Matt Jones, Falls County Sheriff's Office, Texas. End of watch October 11th, 2019. Firefighter Stephen Paul Henderson, Louise Volunteer Fire Department, Texas. End of watch October 12th, 2019. Firefighter Greg Garza, San Antonio Fire Department, Texas. End of watch October 15th, 2019. Deputy Sheriff Jake Allemendinger, Gallatin County Sheriff's Office, Montana. End of watch October 19th, 2019. And firefighter Robert H. Bush, Homer Fire Department, New York. End of watch October 19th, 2019.
Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. I now make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
I will second.
Any discussion on any of the items under the consent agenda?
No, sir.
Mr. Berry.
Aye.
Mr. Morris. Aye. Mr. Culp.
Aye.
Move right into our department reports, beginning with our administrator, Mr. Hess.
I have nothing formal, so Chief Stiegelmeyer.
Good evening, Board. I have two items here for you all to go over this evening. The first will be Resolution 061-219, and what this is, we're going to be amending Resolution 7199, which is the creation of a Parking Violations Bureau, and create the positions of Violations Clerk and Hearing Examiner for the Township. This is not new positions. We'll not be adding any bodies, so to speak. What this is a formal resolution so that the Police Department can have a Parking Violations Bureau, and we can administer a civil parking violation at named places in the Township that will be named in the Parking Violations Bureau information itself. You should have the packet of information that's supplied by the Law Department that has been reviewing this and working with us on this matter. And if there are any questions, I'll be glad to entertain them. Okay,
Chief, I'm sorry, I had a question.
Go ahead, sir.
So could you explain to me under section 1.2 and trailer, semi-trailer, dumpster extended parking, under item A, it says no moving van, truck, or trailer shall be permitted to park along a township street rather than to load or unload. Then in item C, it says parking is prohibited for longer than 72 hours on any street or property. So I don't understand what the rule is.
Well, we're going to allow an exception if somebody's moving. For example, if they're going to bring their semi-trailer, U-Haul, what have you, and park it in front of the residence, they're going to be able to maintain that while they're moving. However, we're not going to allow it to go over 72 hours unless there's special permission granted by the department. That's what that means.
So somebody is a long-haul trucker and they come home and park their rig in front of their house, they don't get 72 hours to leave it there.
That is correct, as long as it's so posted.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I had a question about on the agenda. It lists two new positions, the hearing officer and the violations clerk, I think.
Those are not new positions, sir. What we're doing is according to the statute, there has to be a place for a person receiving a civil violation to come in and have it heard if they want to so contest this. So what we're doing is I'm asking the administrator to create a position of a hearing officer, which he will. It's not adding, it's just a collateral duty, so to speak.
Okay.
And the clerk is the same thing. It'll be a collateral duty for somebody to receive the fines that come in. It's not a new added position to the
Okay,
township.
yeah, I was wondering what the projected income of this was if we were adding them.
Yes, sir. Nope. There's
Okay.
no adding. It's going to be a collateral duty that will be
Okay.
added out by the administrator.
Okay, thanks.
So it says the violations or answers may be made in person or by mail to the Parking Violations Bureau. So will this be located inside of the police department building or inside the administrative building?
It'll be here at the administrative buildings where they have to answer it. That's where the hearing will be held.
And then the fines, since this was passed in 1999, seem really low.
They are low. It's a civil violation, which means there's no criminal record that goes attached to it. It's strictly a civil matter. Now, what's important for the township to know is certain things like handicap parking and things like that that are also governed by the state statute. A lot of those have a heftier fine or a more stringent penalty underneath the state statute, and we will be using that. This is a violation of a civil nature, which is not meant to be more of a penalty. It's more of an attention getter. At least that gives us a little bit of bite we can do to have somebody get their vehicle moved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The second item I have on is Resolution 062-219, and this is the authorizing agreement between the City of Dayton and the Miami Township Board of Trustees to allow the Miami Township Police Department to participate in the OVI countywide task force for the year of 2019 and 2020. This will be our 11th year participating in this task force. This is more of a formality to allow us to participate when they have OVI checkpoints throughout the county. And if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer those. Okay, thank
I'd
you, sir.
just like to make a note back on the parking bureau. Though the fines are not high, if people don't take care of the fines, it gives the police department the tools to remove the vehicle from the street then. And so it's not a moneymaker that we're looking at. It's a mean to get them to abide by this and get the vehicles, junk vehicles, vehicles that people park there forever off the street. Mr. Snyder.
Good evening, Board. I do have two items for your consideration tonight. The first is Resolution 63, 2019, to authorize the Township Administrator to execute a First Amendment to a letter of intent. This would be a request to extend the letter of intent that we're under with Dillon LLC regarding the potential development of our property at the Austin Southwest project site. So they have requested that we extend that letter of intent, which originally began on April of 2019. So you have before you for consideration a 30-day extension upon execution of this. This would also need to be executed by the CIC. We'd anticipate that occurring next week if the board desires to continue the current agreement. So none of the other terms would change. We do expect to receive an initial proposal from them regarding both the development layout of the site along with the projected financials for the project. So obviously we can discuss if you want to adjust any of this, but that is what is proposed at this point. So I don't know if you have any questions on that, or if you desire to change that time frame, we can discuss that, but otherwise we're proposing again 30 days with this from the execution, and then again obviously we can reevaluate at that point in time. But are there any questions on that? Okay. The second item is authorization for the township to submit an EDGE application. We have been working for some time with a company that is looking to do expansion project into the facility at 8821 Washington Church Road. As you're aware, that facility has been essentially dormant for some time now. That is in the JED district that we have with the City of Dayton. So we're certainly eager to get employees into that building. It has been used for the past several years, essentially for warehouse storage, but we'd like to get somebody in there that's going to put a significant employment base in there. The company that we're working with under Project Volta is proposing a significant increase in employment, up to 100 jobs or more onto the site. So they are requesting our sponsorship of their application to the EDGE Committee for the fall funding cycle. Again, that goes through Montgomery County. These are not funds that are would be directly awarded by Miami Township, but that program requires the local jurisdiction essentially receive the funds and then pass those through to the company. So that's why we are being requested to sponsor their application. So you've got a memo there with some additional details, but obviously we can go over any questions you may have. But
No other questions? If anybody has any
Okay.
questions for any of the other department heads, if not, I'll turn it back over to Mr. Barry.
Thank you, sir. We'll now open the meeting for public comments. Anyone wishing to make a public comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. You have a minute to speak. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment portion of the meeting. And I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 061-2019, a resolution to amend resolution number 71-99 to create a parking violations bureau and create the positions of violations clerk and hearing examiner. Therefore be it resolved, the Miami Township Board of Trustees pursuant to Ohio Revised Code sections 505.17 and Ohio Revised Code chapter 4521 hereby amends resolution number 7199 and adopts the attached non-criminal parking infraction violation which shall be considered a criminal offense and for which no person shall be arrested for a violation.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I think it's good that we're putting this in place. We, as a trustee, get a number of calls about perceived parking violations, and we need to have a mechanism that our police force can remind folks of the rule of law. I am a little concerned if these numbers being that low, if I'm a scofflaw of the law, will $10 make me change my behavior? But it does clearly state if I don't pay my two $10 fines, then my vehicle may disappear. So I think it's a good thing for us.
Mr. Berry?
Aye.
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 062-2019, a resolution to authorize an agreement between the City of Dayton and the Miami Township Board of Trustees to allow the Miami Township Police Department to participate in the OVI Countywide Task Force for 2019-2020. Therefore, be it resolved, the Miami Township Board of Trustees approve entering into an agreement with the City of Dayton, the lead agency, that will allow the Miami Township Police Department to participate in the OVI Countywide Task Force effective October 22nd, 2019 for the 2019-2020 agreement attached.
I'll second. Any discussion?
No, sir.
Mr. Berry?
Aye.
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
Make a motion, we approve resolution number 063-2019, a resolution to authorize the township administrator to execute a First Amendment to the letter of intent contemplating the conveyance of real estate to the Miami Township Community Improvement Corporation for its subsequent sale to Dillon LLC. Therefore be resolved, the Miami Township Board of Trustees, sections 1, 2, and 3.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Berry?
Aye.
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 064-2019, a resolution to authorize the township's participation in an EDGE application. Therefore, be it resolved, the Miami Township Board of Trustees authorizes the township administrator to submit an EDGE application for fall 2019 EDGE funding cycle for Project Volta.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion on the resolution?
No, sir.
I'm going to abstain from the resolution since I sit on the EDGE committee.
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
All right, there are no public hearings, so we'll move into elected officials' comments. Mr. Newell,
I have none.
Mr. Morris,
I have nothing.
Mr. Culp.
I have none.
I'd like to remind everyone that we are having a joint meeting with the Miamisburg City Council and Miamisburg City School District Monday at 6 o'clock at Dayton Christian Schools, for all those who would like to attend. And if there's no other business, I make a motion we adjourn at 6:15 PM.